It's Luke who's talking, our weekly visit with Luke Willson, former NFL tight end, current TSN National Football League analyst. Luke, I see the line for the Bills and the Dolphins this Thursday has gone from 12.5 to 11.5. Having said that, I want to play a clip for you from Tuesday. This is Tua Tagovailoa, Dolphins quarterback, talking about Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
Dude, he's top tier. If it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. That dude can do literally anything he wants. So definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, with how far and the arm strength that he has, he's supreme when it comes to that.
All right, some high praise from Tua for Josh Allen. Do you see this as just high praise, Luke? Or do you think Tua's maybe being a little too honest here?
Yeah, Jay, I found it really interesting. I obviously don't disagree with anything he said as far as Josh's abilities, as we've seen that for a long time now. But for Tua to come out and kind of compare Josh to himself, Tua is the 5th pick overall. This guy's supposed to have a lot of weapons here. He was at Alabama, the best college, during the Nick Saban era for over a decade, it felt like. So to be like, yeah, you can do a lot of things I can't do. And I think what made it worse and what just kind of made really me cringe was the fact that Miami looks horrible right now. Now, they played better week 2 against the Patriots, obviously still lost. But week 1, they were horrendous against the Colts. So it's like the fact that, one, you're in question for a lot of this situation. Your head coach is on the hot seat. It seems like an absolute fire sale over there. And then you're coming out being like, yeah, this guy can do a lot of things that I can't do. I don't know if he meant it that way. Like you said, if he was being just kind of professional and praising his opponent, I'm not sure. But it doesn't really sit well with me. And I would imagine that it doesn't sit well with a lot of the receivers in that locker room as well, if you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. It just adds intrigue to an already fascinating Thursday night matchup that you can see right here on TSN. Now, the reigning champion Eagles are hosting the 2-0 Rams, a little playoff rematch from last season. I'm looking forward to that one. Lost in all the controversy about the tush push, Luke, is the fact that the passing game, and you've talked about it a lot, passing game just hasn't been there for the Eagles this season. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, 104 combined receiving yards through 2 games of the season. Should that scare the rest of the NFL, or what should it do for the rest of the NFL?
It definitely doesn't scare the rest of the NFL, Jay, because here's the thing about a complex passing game, which the Eagles do not have, nor do they utilize. A lot of it is timing. A lot of it is setting things up. Hey, we put this on film, play A on film week 1 or week 2, when we've been hitting it pretty successfully. Now we can add the wrinkle to that, or we can add a complement to that pass combination, or run it out of a different formation. Let's get plays where our quarterbacks and our receivers are comfortable completing and executing at an extremely high level. Just even for Hurts, understanding this guy puts his foot in the ground here, he likes the ball being thrown here. If they pass the football right now, it's going to be go balls that you're hoping for the best, and you're hoping that their players make plays. And if you go back to last week, Devontae Smith had a prime example. It was cover 0. You threw the ball up in the air. He made a tremendous play against the Chiefs. But where I say they won't be concerned is, you live and die by 50-50 balls. 50% of the time you're going to live, and 50% of the time you're going to die. So it's not really an efficient way to go into games. So it's been such a struggle. As you can see, I'm getting all wound up here, Jay, because I don't understand. You've got an unbelievable rushing attack. You've got an unbelievable offensive line. And what I believe is the best duo, talent-wise, not production, in the NFL as A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. But somehow, like you said, through 2 weeks, I got 104 total yards. And I just mentioned the throw to Devontae Smith is just a toss-up in the air against cover 0 that he makes a play on. There's nothing fluid about the passing game. And, again, it doesn't just happen overnight like that. So, yeah, as you can see, I think I'm a little frustrated. I think as are Eagles fans that are hoping to see them take the next step.
And this will be a fascinating test against the Rams this week for sure, Luke. As you know, week 2 was like the week of quarterback injuries. We talked about Jaden Daniels. I mentioned Justin Fields. J.J. McCarthy's going to miss some time. Joe Burrow, that turf toe. Thinking about all four of those teams, Luke, which of those four teams do you think is actually equipped to handle being without their starter for a large portion of time? And which team should get on the horn right now to Atlanta and call our boy Kirk Cousins?
So I'll start with who's most equipped. And the answer has got to be the Minnesota Vikings, hands down, for a couple reasons. The first one and the most important is Kevin O'Connell at the helm. This guy is the quarterback whisperer. He took Sam Darnold from the graveyard last year and got this guy paid. Now you rewind even further. I mean, remember the astronaut, Josh Dobbs?
Oh, yeah.
Do we remember that entire saga? Jay, this guy, Kevin O'Connell, took him off the street. He didn't even know his players' names, and he was balling. So the idea that you're replacing a rookie quarterback, I know he's a second-year guy, but rookie because he was injured, and J.J. McCarthy, who's really played one good quarter of football in his first 8, with a guy like Carson Wentz, who has been all over the place, has started before, and has played in some great offensive schemes behind some great offensive minds. I really think that you're going to see a similar production value from what we've seen from J.J. and Carson Wentz. So that would be my answer to who's most prepped. As far as who's in shambles the most, I would have to go. It's a tough one, but I'm probably going to go with the Jets. Fields likes to run a lot, and Tyrod can obviously run, but the Jets are not a great football team to begin with. They're staring down the barrel at 0-2, and now you got your backup quarterback in there, who is a very athletic individual, but not, in comparison to Justin Fields, not in the same class right now in his stage of his career. It's going to be tough sledding for the Jets, to say the least.
And then finally, we have the winless Chiefs traveling to Jersey to play the winless Giants on Sunday Night Football. The Kansas City offense, as you know, it looks a bit disjointed, especially that run game. On the other side, and I still can't believe I'm about to say this, but Russell Wilson, your boy, leads the league in passing yards right now. Do you expect the Chiefs to get back on track this week? Or do you think the Giants can shock the world Sunday night, Luke, and send the Chiefs to an 0-3 start to the season?
Jay, you never say never in this league, but the idea that the Giants might beat the Chiefs this week, I don't know how to describe, but I'm just going to say no, absolutely not. Pretty much no chance. And I understand Russ is the league's leading passer, but week 1 it was an abomination. Week 2, they go into overtime. He throws for over 450 yards, but we got to put this in context. The Dallas Cowboys defense is horrible, terrible, top to bottom. So now all of a sudden you're going in there against the defense that just held Jalen Hurts to 101 passing. They're very, very ferocious. They're angry and they're hungry. I have a feeling that Kansas City is really going to put a thumping on the New York Giants and my old boy there.
Can't wait to see you Thursday night after the Thursday Nighter, and we'll chat about Tua and see if he's got his mojo back or if it's just another disaster at the hands of a division rival. Looking forward to that. Thanks for this, pal. We'll chat with you tomorrow. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Thursday Nighter on this network. Kicking off week 3. Buffalo 2-0, Miami 0-2. Miami comes in having lost 13 of their last 14 meetings with the Bills. You can catch the action on TSN beginning at 8:15 Eastern Time. And then join us after the game. SportsCenter with Jay Onrait. We follow every primetime NFL game this season.